Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dead Money with Dan Arfin podcast. This not live recording is brought to you from the Dead Money Studios at Dan Arfin's house. Like and subscribe to this so you can yada, 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 yada. Anyway, we got another guest today, everybody. But before we get to him, first, I have a milestone announcement to make. I kept wondering from time to time when this was going to happen, and it finally did on Sunday, May 3rd. I'm walking out of the poker room after another pathetically played session, what else is new, and a guy comes up to me, and I think he says, "Are you Dan?" I says, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, I've been listening to your show. So how about that?" And then we proceeded to chat for, I don't know, probably a good 15 minutes. I enjoyed it, and so did he. And by he, I mean Jeffrey. That is Jeffrey from Philadelphia. The first random person ever to approach the great Dan Arfin to talk to him about the Dead Money podcast. I am officially an important person because everything big always started with one, folks. One, whatever it was. It wasn't that long ago. You were just one fucking sperm shot out of a cannon that then somehow outran all the others. And I noticed this fucking guy playing 2-5 on table 10 at the win. I was on table 11. But I thought I saw him glance over at me a couple times throughout the session, and I kept trying to figure out, do I know this freaking guy? Nope. Just one of my many, oh so many Bloodhound fans dying to talk to me. But only he was the first to initiate contact, so good job by him. Although I must say I was very disappointed when he said he was from Philadelphia because he told me first that he lives in Brooklyn, so now I thought, okay, great, fellow New Yorker, but then suddenly, bam, no, he's from Philadelphia. But I hid my disdain very well. Just kidding. Anyway, so that'll do for the dick-sucking portion of this episode, and now we should get on to the main attraction, which is honorary guest and close friend of mine, Sank Desai. Sank Desai will be joining us shortly. Now, a name like that, of course, is about as Indian-sounding as can be, but unlike most Indian poker players, Sank is not a fish. No, sirree, not in the bitter least. He is also a veteran professional poker player, although I'm not sure of exactly how many years. Just certainly enough to get on this show, since, there's a long waiting list to do so. Sank is 33 years old. He's recently married, so congratulations to him on that, I think. And he's also from Philadelphia, so go figure that, right? One day after a Bloodhound fan of the show finally approaches me in the Wynn Poker Room, I bring on a guest that comes from the same city as he does. What can you say, people? The world is full of very bizarre coincidences, whether they mean anything or not. Anyway, so Sank lives in Las Vegas, and he has posed a variety of threats at the poker table. He plays live cash, and he plays a lot of internet poker as well. But Sank, at one time, held a very significant role in my existence. When I came back to poker full speed ahead in September of 2020, he was my regular go-to sounding board for hand history discussion. Now, he had sort of been trying to get me back into poker in the past year or two, and once I finally came to the conclusion on my own that life has this funny way of somehow actually being more dreadful without poker than with it, so much that I might as well just come back to it. And I was talking heads with him all the time. But it was so sick because the first, 12 to 18 months at least, I could probably count on one hand how many times he actually agreed with my decision. Time after time after time after time, I told him about a spot, which was usually me just folding a huge hand, and then him telling me that he would have called. So I guess that's a pretty typical internet player, right? So these discussions, while of course helpful, they were also always so anticlimactic because we would talk about something and never know who was right, at least in that moment. Because, I fold and the guy just mucks. So I told him I guess we'll have a better idea of whether or not these folds were correct in a couple more years or so when we see what my overall results are like. If the results are good, you're going to lean more towards, all right, those folds, a lot of them were probably correct. If they're not so good, then you're going to think, well, maybe a lot of them were wrong. But right folds or not, just in talking poker with Sank after coming back, I got a lot better fast. In fact, a number of the things I've said here as strategic advice are things that were first spoken directly to me by him. So this is not just some typical Indian fish we're bringing on the air today, people, because if you haven't noticed, Indians are the biggest fish at poker. And I actually am curious how much that helps him, but we'll get to that later. This is going to be a good chat. And I told you, I'm telling you one more time, he's from Philadelphia, so he doesn't have some thick, quickie mart accent. He has an American accent. He's very articulate, and he loves to study solvers, so he certainly knows his poker, as you're about to see. So, Sank, welcome to the show. I haven't talked to you a lot in the last year now that I'm, brilliant and I don't need your help anymore. So why don't you just talk to us? So tell us, what's up with you lately in your world of poker?
Just been grinding a lot. Last few years, I've been mostly on the grind. I know when we started talking about poker, probably 2019, 2020, when you got back in, I was doing a lot of studying, a lot of traveling for the tournaments. But now I'm right now mostly focusing on online cash games.
So what limits are you playing these days online?
Up to 510 the limit on WorldSeriesPoker.com.
What is that, 6 max usually?
Yeah, 6 max. You play 1, 2, 2, 5, 5, 10. Take shots at 10, 20 sometimes. Yeah, the games on there are pretty good. I like playing on there. I like playing online. You just get so many hands, and that's what I like to do. I like to play a lot of hands. I like to get into a lot of different spots. I like to be thinking about 3-4 different spots at the same time rather than thinking about one spot very deeply.
So what is I've played online, but there's never been a time where I played online a lot and was playing live a lot. I was just never going back and forth between the two. I mean, you've played a lot of both. What is it like throwing the gears back and forth, live to online? Doesn't it feel like it's in slow motion when you come back to live poker?
It really does. There's a challenge to it because the games play differently, people play differently between the two, but also there's the speed aspect, as you said. I love online because you're just always going. There's no stops. Your mind doesn't really turn off. There's always something to do right there in front of you, and there's always like a spot. There's always some spot you can take. Live poker, obviously, is very different. You're sitting there a lot, observing, plotting. It's not always something going on right now.
Right, plotting. That's a good word. There's a lot of plotting in live poker, where internet, it's just a constant war.
Yeah, you're going.
It's almost like live poker is sort of like this one-on-one stealth mission where you're trying to sneak up on somebody. And
yeah, you are. Yeah, there's a lot more of that. There's a lot more of that dynamic of, how hard is this guy playing, and like, how hard does he think I'm playing? Does he think that I'm capable of anything, or does he think that I'm just sitting here not doing anything?
And that's what I like about live poker, is there's so much cat and mouse leveling metagame. Yeah. I know that you know that I know, but the internet, it just seems to not have too much of that, right? I mean, unless you're playing against a very exploitable opponent, for the most part, you're just grinding the textbook of internet poker play, and you're calling this spot because you think you got to call it.
No, I actually wouldn't say that. I think this is a big misconception of online poker. Online poker does have all of that same stuff. It has all of that cat and mouse game. It has all of those psychological dynamic, but it's in a different way. It's just, yeah, you're right. It is more textbook. It is more technical. Everybody's more technical, but everybody's also just playing harder. Everybody's playing somewhat of the same script, but within that script, there's a lot of room to
improvise.
To go off script. Going off script online,
dangerous.
Yeah, it's dangerous, but it also says something to the other guy that it doesn't say in live poker. If you go off script in live poker, I mean, what does off script even mean in live poker? 90% of people won't even know they don't even know what the script is.
I was just about to say, they don't even know. They wouldn't even be able to pick it out. And
exactly.
If you handed it to them, they wouldn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, there are spots like, you 3-bet a guy, board comes king high dry. And online, you like 90% of people are gonna c-bet that small with every hand in their range. And in live poker, even at 5-10 at the win, like you'll get 3-bet, you'll call king 7 deuce, and this guy's pretty good, and he'll still check sometimes, which I don't think he even knows that this is going off. This is what I'm talking about. Like, if that happens online, I know, okay, this guy, he's like doing. Well, first of all, he's either really bad or he's like doing something. Whereas live poker, you really don't know.
In the internet game, this is just a pure range bet. Anywhere from ace-jack to 8-9 to top set even. Even top set of kings, you just pure range this, and you just hope for the best at that point. Don't you feel like an asshole, though, when you... I always feel like such a jerk. I'm always so results-oriented. If I had kings, 3-bet, internet live, I get king 7 deuce rain. If I see bet any small size and they just fold, I feel like such a fucking cunt for doing that.
Yeah, but I know, but if you check, it's so obvious. Like it's just so. Maybe in live poker it's not. I bet you at win 2-5, I'm sure you check that board and your opponents are like, I wonder what he...
It's true. I mean, there are tons of spots where, I mean, I show no respect for so many of the people I play against. I 3-bet in position, out of position, with all sorts of hands because I just don't have any respect for their post-flop play. That said, though, I'm still going to get into a ton of spots where I don't really know what to do. And, you know, if I got jacks against a certain player and I get the king 8-4, rainbow, I mean, I do check sometimes because I just I don't think I should bet every time. There's not much method to my thinking going on here. I'm just thinking, all right, I'll just bet sometimes and check sometimes with various parts of the range. What I think opponent will do. I mean, I'm taking a lot of guesses out there.
Yeah. No, again, it's different because he's calling a different range. When you get called on a 3-bet online, most people are calling roughly the same range. But in live poker, that some people, they fold a lot to 3-bets, and other people, they're calling queen 10 off. They're calling 10-8 off. Maybe not good players, but there are definitely guys who do that in live poker.
Even winning players who if they're a little tilted or if they just are feeling too confident at the moment. I mean, either one. Yeah, I mean, I just always am curious, though, like how you throw the switch back and forth. It seems like, because internet players, it's always been sort of the classic thing. These internet players who can play, they're winners, but they come in and they make a huge call-off to a certain nitty player, and it's like, to you, this looks like a normal situation. This is a huge spew, massive spew paying this guy off here. So it just seems hard to make the transition back and forth all the time. Like, how do you throw the switch? Can you throw the switch?
It is challenging. I know why those guys do that stuff, because I have an advantage because I came up playing live poker. I know the dynamics of the live game. I've played so many thousands of hours where I can look at this guy and I just kind of have a pretty good idea of what he's all about. But these guys who came up playing online and then they switched to live, I can't exactly put myself in their shoes. But yeah, it must be tough to have top pair, top kicker and like not call it down. Like that must be really weird for that. But me having played thousands of hours in both settings, I think the reason that I can switch back and forth is because of my experience, because of all of the hours that I have in both games. And even then, it's still difficult, especially if I haven't done one of them in a long time. Definitely going back to live poker, for me personally, is harder. I think because of there's an added social effect to it that you don't have in online. I don't think that affects everybody, but I think that is an effect for some players.
So you think just going back into a social environment can just get people off kilter and just it's sort of like a distraction.
It's there's something, maybe it's just me. I mean, I don't think it's just me, but I don't know. There's definitely other people who have this. I don't know how many people this affects, but it's harder to make a decision when there's 9 people watching you. It's harder to make like a gutsy decision when there's 9 people watching you. But online, it's not that I'm not saying it's hard for me. I'm just saying that it's harder live than it is when I'm in my office with nobody around and I have the chat box turned off, so you can't even talk shit to me that way. Like, not that I really care what anyone thinks. It's just there's a human nature aspect to it where making a big speculative play is just harder live.
Right. I mean, you don't need people validating your decision. You're not worried about people's opinions of you. You're going to do what you're going to do. Yeah. But just inherently, I never thought of this, but just inherently, having this audience, whether they're in the game or railing or not, it doesn't matter. Just having all these people watch you just creates a different environment, and it causes a certain type of stress, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and at least at 2-5, if you make a play like that and it doesn't work out, people are going to be commenting, they're going to be snickering, they're going to be laughing, and you don't want this to affect you. But if you're the type of person that it's that type of stuff does get to you, whether you whether you wanted to or not, maybe involuntarily. It is an aspect.
I'll tell you what really tilts the fuck out of me is anytime I lose a bluff and I'm presumably called by a hand that was, let's just say, not flawlessly played, to say the least. Okay? Yeah. And someone not involved in the hand says, nice call. And it's like, the fucking guy made so many fuck-ups leading up to this river spot and then somehow pushes the right button and he gets to win all this money. And now he's being congratulated for his decision. And it's like, you wonder if the guy who told him that, does he know how many blunders he made and why this matters? And it's like, yeah, he got it right in this particular spot at the end where he wound up with the best hands. I mean, it's like, does he even realize that? And it's true what you say. I mean, when you have a big decision, sometimes when I have a big decision, I tell myself, okay, just calm down. Everyone is going to be quiet. They're giving you the space. Sometimes you can feel the drama building. You can feel the silence of the table. Everybody's like anticipating what's about to happen.
If you played 1,000 hours over the last 7-8 months, this stuff really stops. It stops hitting you. This is mostly a factor when, all right, you've been playing all online for the last 3 months, and now you go to the win, and it takes, at least for me, it takes several sessions for me to get back into the social groove, just being okay socially.
Being reacclimated too.
Yeah, being reacclimated to everyone around you.
Is it still true that, if you have the skill set of playing online, if you could beat 1-2 online,
you could beat 10-20 live.
You could beat 10-20 live. You still think that's the case?
Definitely, yeah. In Florida, you could beat 25-50 live. In Vegas is the only place where you can't beat the highest stakes just from beating 1-2 online. Any other place in the world, if you can beat 1-2 online, if there's a 50-100 game at the Hard Rock in Florida running, or at Commerce, you should be able to beat that game.
Right. The only thing that would make it hard for you is just the stress of the amount of money making the decisions. Yeah. And that's obviously a big factor. Is forget about knowing what button to push at the right time. It becomes more stressful to think about when there's 25 times as much money in play.
This is another factor a lot of people don't talk about. When you're playing live, you're almost always playing much bigger than you are online.
If I would play online, if I go back and forth a little bit, I mean, I was never really much more than a part-time player online. But if I am playing online, if I'm playing anywhere from 1-2 to 3-6 or whatever, most, but then and then you're doing rapid fire of low stakes, then you reverse it. You go live. Now you're playing huge, but super slow.
Yeah. It's different.
And no, I've never been in a spot where I'm playing online just month in and month out, but just playing it a little bit and then going back to live, it's just it totally fucks your world up. For me, it does. Yeah.
I mean, and so one thing here is we're only talking about, so far at least, we're only talking about the negatives, but there's a lot of positives for playing online and then going to live. The main one is the plays come to you, they just enter your mind so much faster. You just see things instantly. Snap, snap, snap. You're just so much more in tune. Your brain is so much more wired. The neurons are fully connected. These guys who they only play live, they miss this.
Right. I mean, when I'm playing live, I do see things right away. I'll know right away. If I'm sharp, I get on the flop, all right, this is 3-barrel territory. I already know I'm tripling almost every run out. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing online and it's juggling 7 balls at once and then you go to live, now you're only juggling 2.
Yep.
So naturally it gets a lot easier too, because you're not thinking about 17 different fucking spots.
Yeah.
You have this one and you could give it everything you got. So that's a big that's probably the biggest advantage you have.
Yeah. I love that.
And what you said about just the social aspect and getting reacclimated with that. I mean, internet players, of course, have this notorious reputation of being socially awkward, socially inept, socially anything and everything that just doesn't make for good company in live poker. How do you feel in general getting along with people in live games, whether you're there consistently or coming back after you've been away for a while?
I would say this is not really what I was talking about.
No, I know, but I'm curious though.
No, I don't really talk to anyone at the table. Sometimes I'll play 1-3 just for fun, or just to get reacclimated before if I've been playing online 3 months, I won't just jump right into the win 5-10, win 10-20. I'll play 1-3. just to get reacclimated in certain aspects. But that in that game, yeah, I'll talk to people because people are just, it's all casual and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the company of 1-3 is a lot friendlier than 2-5. It's miles freaking apart. In fact, I've been at the win, I've looked over, and I've seen you playing some 1-3 in some little spurts. So yeah, like, what is your objective has been just to get used to playing live again?
Just to get used to playing live again, build up some stamina also. I don't like to jump into 5-10 and just go right into playing 6 and 8 hour sessions because it's a lot funny. It's like you can play 6 to 8 hours live for 3 months straight per day, but then it's like you go back to online, but then you go back to live and getting that 6 to 8 hours is tough.
I mean, yeah, that's a huge
until you start doing
change.
Doing it day in day out, which you can do. You know, if playing 1-3 also is nice for I play a lot of live tournaments and. It's kind of nice for that. You build that stamina to play 12-hour days, and you also play with a player pool that's more consistent with what you're dealing with in a live tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think people are always underestimating just how much stamina you need to play a live tournament and be sharp the whole time, day in and 2-3 days straight, and then you get to the series and it goes even longer than that. I mean, you are not a white guy like me. When I join a game, I'm just some fucking white guy, but in this country, not every person of Indian descent is treated particularly well. I mean, what's it like these days? Like, do people ever give you shit at the table? Did they used to more so at other cities?
They used to more so, yeah. I think the world has changed a lot. No, I don't get anything.
You don't get any harassment in Vegas?
No, zero. I get more respect than anything else. People seem to respect Indians.
That's good then. Moving up in the world. I mean, that's what I love about playing in Vegas the most. It's just the rooms are the most respectful. It's not that there's no bullshit, but like it feels the most objective. The floors are not so partial towards the regs.
The win,
At least not at the win. I mean, it's always going to be some more than others, but I've been in some games around the country where it's like they're so buddy-buddy with them, and it just feels like you're at this disadvantage,
Yeah,
almost.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like playing outside of Vegas, but...
Well, I like playing outside of Vegas. I don't like showing up to the poker room. I mean, it is kind of like you can just use it as an observation. Like, this guy, and this guy, they must play 30 to 40 hours a week if they're this friendly with all the floors.
Yeah.
It's just information.
Well, what are some of the... I'm curious. I mean... What kinds of mistreatment have you received in the past for being Indian playing at other poker rooms? Like, how nasty did people ever get?
Nothing necessarily about being Indian. Not specifically.
Like, no one ever really went in on you.
No.
Because it's a little hard to do that.
Yeah, what can you really say about Indians, right? We're bad at poker.
You want to be nice to them.
No, I think there's something about just like being a guy who doesn't really talk that much at the table and then playing 2-5 in a pool where everybody knows each other. I don't know. That's people want to make you uncomfortable, I think. And that's partly just a live poker thing, but it's partly like this guy's not like part of the crew, part of the clique.
Well, I definitely try to make people uncomfortable. I mean, I try to do so by I sit down and I just sort of want them to realize I'm here to try and make your life hell. And and you and I both know, unless you sun run, it's probably going to happen. And I just have that all business approach.
I do too. Yeah, I play pretty serious. When I was first coming up in live poker, everyone used to say like the main advice is don't be all serious. Talk to people. Like make friends with the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm not saying that this is bad. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying don't do this. But...
Feels a little forced.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not why I got into poker, and it's also like, it's just not my personality, necessarily.
I agree. It feels forced to me sometimes to try and like be this salesman who buddies up. I mean, if I've been smoking or drinking, it comes more naturally at those times, but...
I like to play. I like to just... People say, like, why aren't you having... Oh, that guy's not having any fun. Why aren't you having any fun? Well, actually, I'm having a blast.
Who says I'm not having fun?
I'm
People equate silence with misery.
Exactly, yeah. People equate neutral face silence with like, oh, he's bored, miserable, and he's just grinding away. I'm actually not. Like, if you could open my head, you would see like, oh, there's a lot going on.
Oh,
there's a lot.
Yeah,
going
I know.
on. I'm having a good time playing this game.
That's the amazing thing about poker is it just brings out how presumptuous so many people are, and they just jump to all these conclusions about you.
Yeah.
They don't know a single fucking thing about you, really, other than the fact that you've been quiet. But it makes no difference what you say or what you don't say. It's just how you are. I mean, you could still be cool at the table and give off a cool vibe.
Of course.
If you're just a chill person who just chooses not to speak. I mean,
that's exactly it. I'm not like saying anything negative. I never get mad when I lose. I never do anything like that. I'm just pretty much like silent, and that's it. I'm just playing. To me, it's like the game is so beautiful. The game is so deep. And so what do you want me to do? You want me, instead of concentrating on this beautiful, complex game, you want me to, oh, hey, where are you from? Oh, yeah, what do you do for a living? Like, if that's the priority, like, the people that are saying, oh, you're not having any fun, you guys are the ones that are missing out.
Those are the kinds of conversations that drive me the craziest in any environment, but certainly never more than the poker game, is when two guys, like, all right, I'm not even saying they're not trying to be friendly with each other, but it's like neither one of you even give a shit about what either one of you are talking about. Like, oh yeah, I'm here from visiting in from I'm visiting in from Florida. Oh, okay. Like, I'm here. Oh yeah, that's great. It's like, guys, shut up.
It's a script.
It sounds like a fucking
theatrical script.
I know.
But I'm the asshole for not participating. I know. That's how people view it, but go ahead, view it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I got the resting bitch face, and when I lose, I mean, I'm generally pretty good about biting my tongue. I mean, I don't try to hide the aggravation on my face. You know, it's more like I don't want to be spoken to anybody right now, which is fine. When people lose, give them a second to breathe. I mean, how about when somebody stacks you, right? Like, oh, did you have the flush? What'd you have? It's like, how much common sense do you need sometimes? I mean, it's like people, like, I know maybe you're not used to playing poker, you're not used to this feeling of winning. A little fucking common sense. It's like you just took all this guy's money. Can you leave him alone for 30 seconds? Would it kill you to do that?
The aggravating thing is he's trying to be nice. I would rather him legitimately talk shit to me. I would rather him legitimately, right after stacking me, say, You thought I was bluffing, and no, you thought you thought this, but actually I got you, and I'm gonna get you again. Go ahead and rebuy. I would rather this than, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh man, did you have the flush? Yeah, you had to call, man. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I know they're trying to console you and make you feel better.
Yeah,
it's like you don't owe me. You don't owe me anything. You don't owe me this. It's like I tried to take your money. I failed. You get to have the money now, and you don't have to say a single thing. People just get nervous. They don't know how to act.
I know.
They don't know how to act, and I try to forgive it. I try to empathize with the fact that they don't do this very often, but it's like, come on, man. It's like, is this not common sense? I mean,
it's not. I mean, it's really not.
Nobody likes fucking losing.
It's only common sense to regs pro people who play a lot.
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes they slip up.
Yeah, I know.
At 5-10 plus, you never hear it.
Right. That's what I miss.
Even from fish, a fish will sack you and won't say a word to you. They know. It's a different game at 2-5 and 1-3.
Oh my god, I know. That's what I miss most about playing higher. It's just that people were more respectful.
Street ball versus organized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like playing 1-3 and I like playing 10-20. I don't like playing 2-5.
Yeah, I know. The company
you know
is pretty miserable, and I've been thinking more lately how these nitty players take themselves really, really seriously. Like, there's a certain way that these people act, like, sort of like, I've been around, you don't know how long I've been around, they walk around like they're this really deep thinking player.
Yeah.
Who just sits around and kind of just waits for the nuts. Unless he's stuck, then he starts spewing.
Yeah.
And I know, it just drives you crazy. I mean, the 2-5 pool is the most satisfying pool to beat the ever-loving shit out of because of how intolerable and insufferable the behavior so routinely is, and they don't even know they're doing it. I agree with you. It would be so much better. It's better to deal with the person who's being an asshole on purpose.
Yeah.
Than the person who's driving you crazy has no fucking idea what they're doing and thinks that their intentions are actually coming from a good place.
And it forces you. Now you have to be you have to like follow the script. You have to be polite. Because he's trying to be nice, but with the guy who's talking shit, you can just go back and forth with him. There's nothing you have to worry about. You can just go back and forth. You can just be your real self. I prefer that guy. I prefer the competitive aspect to the game.
Now, how do you feel this all compares to playing live tournaments? I mean, do you think people act about the same way as they do at 1-3?
Day one, yeah. Definitely. Day one, you'll see a lot of that stuff, but...
Everybody, I think, is just so thrilled to be there. Everybody, when the tournament starts, everybody's got a full battery. Everybody thinks they're going to win the tournament.
Sure, yeah.
You know, your optimism is as high as it's going to be, because why shouldn't it be?
Yeah.
And I've played one tournament in the last 13 years, and I got free-rolled. That's why I played it. But, yeah, you can still feel the energy in a tournament. Everybody's like...
I love that. It gets serious. Day two, it gets day two, day three. Even the fish get serious. Even the fish who would have made some kind of comment, in a normal 2-5 game or in day one, early in day one, even those guys, they'll stack you and they won't say a word. You'll call them, they'll show a good hand, you'll muck, and they won't whisper to their neighbors, oh, what do you think he had? What do you think he had? Because this is like, all right, we're down to the final 25. Like, you and the neighbor are kind of like enemies here.
Yeah, you're fighting over a lot of money here. Yeah. This isn't time to be jerking each other off right now.
So that's what I really love is the tournaments. Once it gets really serious, once it gets really deep, it's a lot of fun. It's really competitive. People are playing hard, and people are nervous. It matters to people. That's what's fun.
No, it has happened to me where I get near the money or in the money. I mean, I've only played so many tournaments, but yeah, they do get very exciting. And once you get through this freaking grunt work, all just crawling through the mud to get to this point, yeah, now it's actually exciting.
Once you're playing for the big money, yeah. Bubble, I mean, close to the first bubble is pretty exciting. And then once you've made the money and you got a decent stack, pretty exciting. But once you get down to it, once you're playing for the big money, that's when it's a lot of fun. It's so competitive.
We got the series coming up in a few weeks. Do you have any plans to play any of the World Series events?
Yeah, I'll play the good ones. I haven't looked at it. I'll play the main event. I'll play the good ones.
Millionaire Maker.
Yeah, that type of stuff. The online events are really good. Win has a lot of good events. Seems like Win is having almost just as good events as World Series Poker is.
Yeah, I mean, people, if you haven't been to Vegas during the World Series of Poker, it is a sight to see.
Yeah, I love it.
You got to show up early or you got to show up late to the cash games, otherwise you're in for a long way because it gets wall to freaking wall all day long.
I'm going to be playing cash games online and tournaments live. Unless it's like super late night. Yeah, like you said, I'm not going.
It's just all over the place with what happens because there's always a good game somewhere.
Games are good, yeah.
Because there's always people on tilt from something. Some tournament beat, running bad, bubbled, or just missed the huge payout by like 5 or 10 spots. I mean, there's a ton going on. In fact, playing last year with a rec, he described the World Series of Poker as like just a giant reunion among poker players.
Yeah, sure.
And I kind of like the way, I like him putting it like that. It's true. We all come together, come from all over the world. Everybody, is here to show off their badass play. You can just sense it. Like, this guy's coming from Florida, this guy's coming from Cali, coming from Indiana. Like, everyone's like, oh, everyone's got this macho feeling walking around. And then by the end of the summer, almost everybody's broke. So, Sank, I know you like to study pile solvers. What kind of time do you put into it each week, and what exactly are you doing when you study a solver? Because to me, it just looks like fucking Braille. I don't think I'm very good at learning this kind of way, which is why I've talked to you about solvers. I've talked to others about solvers. I get little pieces of advice from it and look to apply it to situations. But, like, what's it like to study a solver? What are you looking at?
You're looking at the core, what you're looking at is the system playing against each other, playing against itself like billions of times and coming up to an optimal strategy if all the conditions are exactly the same as the inputs. You know, the ranges have to be the exact same. Everything from the previous node to the next node has for it to be accurate. So really, what you're looking at is not much at its core. I wouldn't say I'm putting in a ton of time with the solvers these days. I've put in so many hours. They've been out since 2016. I was writing them in 2016, and up until probably 2021 or so, I've worked with them a lot. But I haven't done it in a long time because I think there's diminishing returns with that stuff. You can't just mimic the solver if that's what you're trying to do.
Impossible.
Well, first of all, it's impossible, but second of all, it's not actually going to make you any money. The strategy is like designed so that
it's playing against another solver. It's playing against another perfect opponent. Are you able to like program the solver's opponent to playing like a human? You can do imbalances and see how it adjusts to that. I mean, that should be a lot more helpful, I would think.
You can do that, but then your assumptions still all have to be right.
Right. It's just a tool. It's not something, you can't make it more than what it is. It's like,
yeah, you gotta be good. You can be good with it to the point that it can take you to the top of poker. If you study it that well, and then you gotta know how everybody else is deviating from the solver, like unintentionally. You can't just if this guy is deviating, if he's not playing a solver strategy, like let's say here's a good one. If he's overfolding the turn, he's folding the turn 80% of the time. All right, but then you go into your solver sim, and it tells you all the river bluffs, and you hit all. Well, he's not going to be overfolding the river. You're going to be losing a lot of money by doing these quote unquote GTO bluffs on the river. He already overfolded 80% of his range with a turn, and you're still trying to follow the river output.
Doesn't make any sense because if he's calling the turn, then if he actually can call the turn, he won't be overfolding the river.
For that river output to be accurate, he has to be playing the turn exactly how he's supposed to have played. Exactly how the solver would have played the turn.
Right. It's got to stay consistent. Once you break away, everything goes out the window.
Yeah.
It falls like dominoes.
Once there's one break, everything is now muddled up, and it's not accurate.
So basically, the most use of studying a solver is for playing opponents who are doing the same thing, and you're trying to see basically who's better, who's learned the solver the best, essentially.
No, because nobody can play the solver. Nobody can play it like 100% accurately. Everybody's making mistakes. So you use the solver like as a manual, as a script. You read the script, you read the manual. This is how the game is supposed to be played. This is the main strategy. Like in football, if there was okay, on first down you're supposed to do this. On second down you're supposed to do this. Both teams the defense is supposed to do this, and the offense is supposed to do this. And then everything kind of breaks even if everybody does what they're supposed to do, it kind of breaks even. But then once this guy's making a mistake, that linebacker's making a mistake, this guy's making a mistake, so now I can do this. That's how poker works too. Soon as he's not following the solver, now there's exploits available. But then once you do the exploit, now you're exploitable. Now he can look at you and, okay, now he's not following solver, so I can readjust. And it's a game of adjusting, counter-adjusting, if you want to play at that level. Like, if you want a reg battle, that is how it is. You're not going to be... If you're reg battling, you're not going to be following the solver to a T. It's too complicated. And there's also different formats of the game now with the antes and the 3 blinds and the different rake structures, and then... There's also different stack sizes. Like, everything is different from 100 big blinds to
everywhere you look, there's something disrupting the normal pattern that a solver wants you to follow.
So everybody used to be afraid of RTAs, online. If the things that you can just pull up GTO Wizard or whatever and follow it systematically, and everything it says you just copy the same move in your game. And everybody was afraid of that. But you actually can't. People have tried that on sites where they won't ban you for that. On Ignition, on Global, you don't get to the top of those sites playing that way. It's more about the exploits.
We used to talk about poker back in the day, and there was a time where you were not in the camp that you're in now, where it's about the exploits.
Yeah, for sure.
It seemed like you were always trying to balance certain spots and just try and play a theory type way. And I was always trying to tell you some of the things that you're saying now and have been saying to me in the last few years.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those things that like a poker player has to come to that on their own and realize that it's like, you know what? It's like this doesn't make any sense in theory land, but who cares? This guy has no idea what any of that even is. So you just lead him down the road and he does what you want. I mean, when you try to copy a solver, I mean, if a solver is the entire beach, the most any of us can do is just like pick up a handful of sands as far as being able to truly learn what a solver is going to do. I mean,
you won't be able to.
If a solver played live poker every day in the 2-5 pool, we know it's going to make money, but it's like, would it crush? I mean,
not unless it was adjusting to the opponent.
Right. If it wasn't adjust, let's assume it doesn't adjust. It just does the same thing every time.
It's just getting in ace king, pre-flop.
Against aces all the time. It's going to like stack off in so many spots.
30% of the time, it's like 6-bet jamming ace-5 suited. Some things like this, right? Things that will get torched.
Right.
In a 1-3 or 2-5 game.
Yeah, but it'll probably also stack the fuck out of people. I feel like no one would ever fold to it.
Yeah, the counter to what we're saying is that once these guys see it, 5-bet jamming ace-5 suited 30% of the time, they're going to adjust so poorly that those plays, while they're going to be bad at first, they'll eventually be good. Even if they once in a while dust off to some nit. But still, regardless of all that, it would be better if it would make more if it adjusted. No doubt about it.
Poker's a crazy game because the computer looks at it so at times incomprehensibly different. And right, with no emotions. It doesn't have bills. Like if it stacks off jamming 10 times the pot, and it thinks it should do it the next hand, it will.
Yeah.
It's not going to think about how,
There's a lot of spots where humans will say, like, okay, this guy bet the river to me, I have king high, and king high and second pair are the same hand because they beat the same and they lose the same, right? The human will say this, and they know it logically. But still, the human will still be has more favor of the second pair than the king high, even though it's the same hand.
Exactly.
But the solver will legitimately have it will legitimately just view those as the same hand, and it'll make a decision based on its blockers and whatever other factors.
Yeah, humans have so little understanding for how poker actually works. It's like embarrassing.
You're fighting your own nature. That's what makes it beautiful.
Well, let's see if we still disagree over everything. I'm going to tell you about a couple of hands from the last couple of days.
All right.
Hero folds were not made, but curious to hear what Sank thinks. So we have an early position limp from just a typical 2-5 reg who is not impressive at all, but wins.
Okay.
And I raised 25 in the cutoff with 8-7 suited, and I get 2 calls, and then the reg limp raises, but only to 100, and we're all deep. So I know I got a call with 8-7 suited here. And we get 2 calls. So we got 4 ways. We're going 4-way. And I flop a flush draw because it comes king, queen, 9. The small blind fish checks, and he bets 100. He bets a quarter pot. And it was bizarre seeing him pick the size, because if he has the big hand that he's saying he has, ace, king plus, expecting him to go a lot bigger, but he only bets 100. I call. And the fish, who was getting kind of short, he folds. And then the turn is 6. It's two-tone, but I'm open-ended now. But if I hit the 10, then he jack makes a straight, so that's not that valuable of a straight. But it is, nevertheless, an open-ender. He checks. You blasting here, or are you going to take the free card because it's too risky to get jammed on here? And it looks like you very easily could.
I think a hand that jams on you, you'll have your full equity. Like you'll have the 10 will be good. Like you'll have all 15 of your outs. You know what I mean? So you can just bet a size that you can bet call, because all you need is 2-1 to bet call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the type of hand that I'm fine with, just going hard right now, because kind of looks like he has jacks, ace queen. I don't think ace king plus checks, and if it does, it might not even check jam. It might check call. I don't know what this guy does. Sometimes they do weird stuff in live poker.
Do you think ace king plus ever would or should use that size on the flop, betting a quarter.
I think it should, in the sense that it's a fine play. Like I would, if I made this play and it's king queen what? And king queen 9.
King queen 9, two
Yeah, you said
tone.
the other guy's already short, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you can bet 100 here and still like on a blank run out, bet turn, bet river pretty comfortably, get all in.
And try to bluff him, yeah.
No, if from his perspective.
Okay.
You can bet this small size while still getting all in by the river. Like the small side doesn't obstruct you from getting all in.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I was confused by this guy's turn check, and I checked back, and part of why I checked is just because I feel like this guy, I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know why he bet so small on the flop. If he had a hand he felt he could bet, I would have just expected him to bet much bigger. And now he's checking, and I just feel like I can see this guy who's seen me bluff off. So like I thought maybe there's a chance he's just going into check call with, aces or ace king, or maybe shoving. I just took the free card. I didn't get there. I hit an 8, so all the draws brick.
Yeah, I think this is why you got to go for it, because now it's much easier for him to call with ace queen, king jack, king 10 if he has those hands.
Right, and at this point, since I didn't bet the turn, now I felt I had to give up. So
you have to give up.
I felt like since I didn't bluff turn, I felt like I can't bluff this river now. It's not going to look credible unless I just totally try and brain fuck him and just jam for some silly reason. I mean,
it's what, king queen 9,
6 8
6, king queen 9 6 8. Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah. I know it's hard for you to have anything, but you should be like, quote unquote, should be having some strong checkbacks on the turn, traps, stuff like this.
I mean, if I had ace king, for instance, I would definitely not raise the flop or 4-bet his limp raise. So I definitely can get to this turn with ace king. And once he checks, yeah, I probably would have checked back, actually.
I mean, couldn't you just check back jack 10 suited on the turn as a pure trap?
Who am I kidding? I would never do that. I mean, I know it's a good play. Those are the types of traps you will basically never see in live. You're saying online you could see a trap in a situation like that.
No. Also, they have the same kind of leaks where they don't. It's a hard trap. It's hard. You have jack 10 suited there. You want to bet.
I know. You got the fucking nuts and a 4-bet pot. I mean, check. I mean, it's like it's hard to do that.
But then you end up in situations like this where you have a hand that needs to bluff, but you feel like, shit, I don't think I checked back enough good hands, and now I'm like insecure about my own range.
Yeah, I just thought I was in a bad spot.
Regardless of all that stuff, regardless of the range, I can't rep this or that, regardless of all that, you cannot let this go check and lose to jacks.
Well, you called it right from the beginning, and you called it again, because that's exactly what happens. I just checked down and was just shocked. I mean, maybe not shocked that that's the hand he bet so small with on the flop, just shocked that he would limp raise this hand to begin with, and then bet this flop multi-way. It's just, I think he got a flop and thinks, I don't know what to do. I don't want to check, but I know I can't bet big. So he just farts out 100, not knowing what he's doing or why, and then just waves his own white flag. Because when I checked back on the river, he turned his hand over expecting to lose. I mean, he figured he lost, and maybe he should have figured that, because I didn't play this hand any better than he did.
Yeah, he should not expect to win, which is why he shouldn't even be checking. He should just full on turn it into a bluff on the turn and then the river. If he checks, he's basically hoping that you somehow played exactly the way you played it, where you just had a bluff and you just missed the bluff. And that's not going to happen. Maybe it will happen too often at win 2-5, but I would feel like if I had jacks there, on the turn, I would feel like if I check, I'm never winning. There's nothing I can do if I check. But, I mean, I double block jack 10 suited. I've got gut shot if he calls. And, maybe I have at least one blocker to king jack suited. So, why not? I got kings, queens, ace king, aces, all credible. I could have jack 10 suited.
It's a good hand to keep barreling off with. I mean, this guy just clicked buttons, and we make more mistakes against fish because they make so many fucking mistakes that you get so thrown. I mean, I know that his play of the hand, my play of the hand was bad, but his play was just as terrible because he just throws in this limp raise with jacks, uses a size that's probably not getting anyone to fold. And if that's what he's even going for, I mean, Now he's bloating this pot with this hand, which does not flop very well. Then he gets a not so shocking, unfavorable flop, and just didn't know what to do. And I just got so confused and just freaking gave up and just tried to get there and missed. And it's just, I'm letting this fucking unimpressive reg, who I've been playing with for a few years now, he's just a run-of-the-mill nit. He isn't good. I like the guy. He's a nice guy. You never feel like a bigger prick, a bigger fucking asshole than when you feel like you fuck up against a player who you don't respect. I mean, I just didn't think he would limp raise that weak of a hand. I just thought his limp raise c-bet range on this flop, regardless of size, I just thought would be way too nutted for me to try and bluff this guy. That's what I was so afraid of doing. I mean, I thought maybe I was confused by his small flop size, but then I also thought, well, I don't know. Maybe he's learned to something finally, and he's just sizing down with bigger hands here to keep his range wider. I mean, maybe he caught on to something. No, it's just the same thing. Just did something weird today, and I failed to take advantage of it.
This is one thing I have to say, like, online players do a lot better than live players, is like, they're not trying to guess necessarily, like, does this guy have this, does this guy have that. They're just thinking, like, my hand is a bluff. I have to, like, I can't not bluff it. If he is trapping me, he's trapping me, he wins.
You just live and die with the fact that he traps you, and it's okay, and you don't mind. Well, that's smart.
That's part of the game, because the solver, you'll notice, when the solver's playing against each other, it always has traps. And yet the other solver is still bluffing into that, or value betting. It doesn't care that the other guy has traps. And in our games, the other guy doesn't even have traps. And here we are, all scared to blow out for thin value bet. But then the solver's doing it into traps, into strong ranges.
So you talk about plotting in live poker, it's sort of like live players are always trying to like thread the needle. They're trying to make the perfect play in the perfect time.
Yeah. And
I definitely do that a bit myself. I mean, because just bluff the goddamn hand. You know, it's like you have to. Well, I made a pair at the end, but you know the pair's no good.
It's no good. Yeah.
Very so rare that hand that your pair is gonna win that you can't even consider your showdown value.
That's something I know that online players, they will definitely, if they have no showdown too much, they'll sometimes, there's spots where you have no showdown value you have to give up sometimes. But online players, when they have zero showdown value, they are bluffing. At least the good ones.
And they don't overthink it. They just they don't overthink those spots, and they don't overthink the certain coolers, because you're never gonna catch an internet player hero folding. That's for sure. I mean, a live player could make a great fold of throwing away bottom set to somebody, because if he gets if a guy 3-bets on the flop and this guy is just 100% doing this with nothing but sets, he will never even think of 3-betting anything on this flop except a higher set, and because you got bottom set. Internet players won't, they won't thread the needle and make the hero fold there, but there's a lot of other spots where they're not going to hero fold. They're just going to roll their eyes, pray, call, and then
they'll be fine. That's
be given good news. Yeah.
One thing that's underrated is that in the situation that you said, that live player who folded the set, he'll spend the next 2 hours in his mind, oh man, did I make the right fold? Oh shit, what a tough spot. Oh, what a crazy spot. I can't believe I ran into the spot. He'll be running through that for the next 2 hours, where the online guy, he'll just stack off and lose to middle set and be like, oh, cooler, on to the next hand. Like, oh yeah, that's poker.
Yeah, I've said this before, that sometimes there's just no victory, because there are spots where I'm really debating folding, I end up calling, and I lose, and I'm absolutely sick with myself. But then I think about how if I had folded that hand, I'd have made this great fold, but I'd have never found out about it, and then I would just be second guessing it the rest of the day anyway. Yeah. So either way, I'm fucked. I mean, I can make the correct play and still feel even shittier than making the wrong play. And without knowing that you just did something that was like almost maybe even extraterrestrial, and you still have to suffer.
There's a lot of this mind stuff, and there's a lot of downtime for the mind to run in live poker that doesn't exist in online. It's a challenge to have to deal with in the live game.
Well, it happens to me when I'm playing live. Like maybe after an hour or two, it hits me that like I look at some guy and I'm thinking like, he's being I'm hunting this guy now. Like this guy will fold to me if I apply all the pressure in a sensible enough spot bluffing. It's like, and he's been picked out, and I'm waiting for the moment, and you might get no opportunities. You might get 2 in the next 15 minutes. I mean, it's true. I mean, the psychology involved from live play to internet play, how different it is, it's astounding.
Yeah.
It's astonishing how big it is. It's the different version of the same game. The internet.
Yeah. That stuff, that exists online too. Like, I'll pick a guy out also. But with online, you are going to have 5 spots in the next 5 minutes. That's a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. The spots are about to come. And if you take them all, he's going to notice. At least he's going to get a little suspicious. Because it all happened with live poker. You can do this to this guy like once every 4 hours.
Yeah.
And and it's still a lot. That's once every 80 hands, something like that. That's a lot. But it's 4 hours. He's not going to notice. But if you do that in online, once you attack a guy once every 80 hands online, it's going to be very obvious to him because 80 hands goes by
just like that. Yeah, it's interesting how personal people take aggression from the same player coming at them in live poker, especially at 2-5. Yeah. It's like, I could be playing against a guy who he's going to overfold a ton of spots, but if you 3-bet him twice, like 5 hands apart, there are players, they will just immediately throw the switch, and now they are drastically going to underfold certain spots to you because they've decided you're picking on them because, God forbid, you ever catch a couple of hands against them. I mean, and maybe you are picking on them, but in most cases, I feel if the same player is always going after you, I expect his range to get increasingly strong with each time he does it because he knows that you might be thinking that you're bullying him and he's just going to call down with pocket 3s this time, where normally he would never ever do that if it was against another player.
Usually that's the case. Yeah, usually if a guy's been aggressive against you a lot and then he stays aggressive against you, usually he has it now. But that's such a known concept that like you can use it against people and you can like hit the gas harder because you've done it 5 times in a row. Now you can go really light on the 6th time if it's a guy who like looks like you, who looks like he's thinking and looks like he is into poker.
So what's the most number of tables online you can typically handle at once, either now or at some other time?
Max 12.
You could handle 12 tables at once. Damn.
Yeah.
And I know plenty of guys, well, maybe not plenty of guys, but I know guys have done even more than that. I've heard of guys playing over 20 tables.
Yeah, that's harder to do nowadays. They don't give you as much of a time bank and all that stuff.
Oh, all right. That makes sense.
It's not as easy. They don't have as much of the table helper, the table ninja, all that bullshit. It's hard. It's hard to play 20 plus tables. I wouldn't say hard. It's harder now than it was 15 years ago.
What's the biggest like either misclick or misreading a hand on one table when because you got too many tables going that your brain just gets overloaded and you fuck something up?
My biggest misclick was when I only had one table going. When I had
that figures.
I had a bubble situation on ignition and I was stalling and I was gonna jam it right before the club, but I forgot to hit the time bank button. And so, I had already put like 90% of my stack in, and so I could get the extra stall to get into the money, and then I forgot to hit the time bank button, and then I was down to no and now I can't even like
that is so disheartening. I mean, there are so many hazards in live poker that will never ever happen in internet. With getting the money, counting the money wrong, and multi-way all-ins. Cards getting exposed, people acting out of turn. I mean, there's so many things that happen live that are never going to happen online. But then you have the other hazards online. You can have misclicks.
Yeah.
Has your internet ever cut out in the middle of a huge pot and you got fucked because of that?
Definitely.
I mean,
that's happened.
But it's probably happened in your favor too.
Probably happened in my favor. Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's just the sick kind of variance. All kinds of.
It should even out. Yeah.
It should even out.
It all should even out.
The biggest fuck up I ever had playing online was like New Year's Day. I want to say it was 2007. And I was only playing like 3 tables. But I was a little tired from partying the night before. But I was able to play, or at least I felt I was. And I'm playing one table and I remember I had like King 5 on like Ace Deuce.
Oh, you mixed them up?
But and I thought I had the King 5 on another table. and I just got like $1,000 in with King 5 on Ace Ace Deuce against like Ace X, and no, did not hit my wheel. And everybody's like writing in the chat box like, "Whoa, you thought like you called me with King High there?" I'm thinking like I was actually so tilted, I was just calm. Like you're just so dumbfounded by what you just did. You're struck. You're so like stunned. I'm just like, all right, I thought I had this hand on another table. This is the easiest $1,000 you're ever going to make. Just be glad that you could catch the punt. But you never done anything like that online.
No. I think I misclicked folded aces. Maybe that's the extent. Maybe that's the worst of it.
I'll tell you what happened to me a couple of years ago. I came back to online for a day. I was just playing maybe quarter 50 cent, and I was just running the game over. I mean, I was just 3-betting really big, and people were just overfolding like non-stop. I was up like $200 in like a couple hours, which sounds like a lot for quarter 50 cents, isn't it?
Yeah, 4 buy-ins, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like I was just printing all this money by re-raising people before the flop. I didn't even have to do anything post-flop that much. And then I was trying to 3-bet a guy with aces. Maybe I was playing 2 tables, but the time bank was so short, and I was like getting used to the clicking, and I was like still getting familiar with that even after a couple hours, and my fucking aces got mucked.
Yeah.
And I was fucking soul crushed. And then that tilted me. And then I spewed. I think I probably got even for the day. And then after that, I was like, you know what? I'm scratching this whole plan. It's not meant to be. Because I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll play online more. Maybe I'll just play some quarter 50 cent a few days a week to supplement live poker. But after that, I couldn't do it. I was like, you know what? I just don't think it's meant to be. Came back from my little one-day like amusement park online poker session and then just put it to bed right on the same day. So when you're playing online, you're a married man. I mean, you say you got your own office, you got your own little lair to go hide out in.
Yeah,
right? No, there's no distractions. No people, no animals.
Well, there's distractions because they're right outside the door. But, and there's just there's always life stuff, construction right outside the window. There's things breaking in the apartment. Just random things that happen to everybody. There's always going to be stuff.
Do you tilt more live or online, or where do you tilt more easily?
I don't know. Honestly, that's hard to say. I don't think I tilt too much at all. I don't really play tilted. I've got good ways to not tilt. I guess I would say live. Yeah, just because it's slow and there's just like I said before, there's that aspect of people watching you that makes it just adds a little something, whereas when you're alone, when you're just sitting there alone in your office, I don't know, it's easier to lock in, it's easier to focus, it's easier to breathe. You can play your music, you can sit out the tables and just you could walk away and stretch and walk outside and sit back down without anybody know. Like if you do that, you could do that in live poker too, but then I don't know. Everyone knows that. That guy's taking a break because he's steaming.
Right. No, it's true that when you get stuck, there is all this gossip, even if it's unspoken. Like if you get stuck big, whether it's a bad beat or you bluffed it off, you can just feel the inner grumblings of people, the things they can't wait to say to each other. Yeah. Like if you get up to take a break, someone's gonna say some shit about you as soon as you get up.
Yeah.
It's like people make this whole big spectacle of it, and they're like, "Oh, that guy just like lost all his fucking money to this guy."
I know,
like, oh, that guy's fucking crazy. I can't. Can you believe he did that? Like, it's like everybody's thinking it, and they know that they're thinking it, and it's just it turns into this fucking cafeteria, this 6th grade lunchroom, just like that.
It totally is fine after a week or two of just being there, getting acclimated. It's fine. Like it's not a big deal. Now I can like kind of shoot right back at them. But for that first few days, it's kind of weird. Like just losing, and if you do happen to, it's not, if you win, it's fine. It's obviously winning kind of cures everything. But yeah, I would say if I were to get tilted, it would definitely be with live poker, because that aspect of I can see myself more likely to make a mistake just because the extra factor of everyone's watching. I mean this is, you can extrapolate this. A lot of people say like the really big poker players, they say that playing on camera is different. Playing on stream is different. And that's an even bigger factor. There's not just 9 people watching you. There could be thousands, tens of thousands of people watching you.
No, I know. People don't want to get owned on TV.
Yeah,
they don't want to get bluffed. I think that's probably the most embarrassing thing for people to have to swallow is the idea of getting bluffed. Bluffing off, hey, at least you tried, you know?
Or also missing a bluff, I think is, at least for me, like, giving up jack high and losing to king high is, I don't like that. There's something inside, when that happens and other people see, there's something inside me that I'm just like, I don't like that.
No, I get more tilted from checking down and losing to bullshit than I do bluffing the whole stack off. I would rather just bluff the whole stack off.
Yeah.
And I don't get embarrassed by it. I mean, I just feel sick about the money and sick with myself. The last thing I'm thinking about is how this looks to other people. I mean, if anything...
It looks good.
If anything, it looks good. I mean, you're most likely to win a big pot right after you lose a big one, and no one's going to be comfortable playing against you knowing that you're willing to do that. So
you have to be willing to look stupid, and you have to look stupid. Your good play is going to look stupid to bad players. It's necessarily going to look stupid to bad players.
No, that's a good point. I mean, it's like, it's the right play, but they don't know why their plays are stupid, so they're not going to know why your plays are smart.
Yeah.
They're just going to look at the results and determine if it made sense based strictly on that. But I couldn't play online because I just get too tilted online. I mean, I used to be fine with it back in the day, like in my early 20s when I still had a job, but I just want to relax at home because when I start to lose a few hands online, I just feel like I'm always getting run over.
Yeah.
And that just gets me so freaking unnerved, and I start going crazy because I'm not with the guy, there's no live reads. I just keep thinking I'm just getting exploited somehow. And then you call one and he just fucking has it.
That's a factor. That was a factor for me when I went from live to online. The speed of play is so much faster. It feels like you're getting attacked. It feels like you're getting 3-bet non-style, and you're actually not. Like, that's what, when I first went into online, like I was still playing 50 Cent 1, 1, 2. This was back in 2015-16 when it was much softer, and people weren't 3-betting. Average 3-bet percentage probably 6%, 7%. And yet it feels like you're getting 3-bet non-stop.
Left and right.
And 6%, 7% is low. You're supposed to be, it should be like 11, 12%. So if I played those games now, if I played a game right now where the average 3-bet percentage was 7%, and I mean, when I do play live poker, it's even lower than that. It's 2%, 3% probably. And it feels like you're never getting 3-bet. And it's such a stark difference, the feeling. Because when I only played live poker, it didn't feel like I was never getting 3-bet. It kind of felt like I was getting 3-bet the normal amount. And like, this is just how poker works. You get 3-bet 3% of the time. Not that I was thinking 3%, but you know what I mean. But then, like, now, it feels like, damn, like, everybody is so passive. It's just call.
I like to see the flop. People love their cheap flop. They love nut peddling, and that's what I see in the live pool. It's just people are just not comfortable inflating the pot pre-flop unless they just have a really strong hand. I mean, they have such a very linear approach. Now, when you say that, if they're 3-betting 6 or 7% of the time, are you saying 6 or 7% of the time of all hands, or just the hands they play?
Of all hands.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what my live 3-bet percentage is. I know that
you're probably right around 7 or 8.
And that's with 3-betting.
Even if you're trying, like,
a lot more than
I would guess. If you were higher than that, like, I mean, a lot of people aren't higher than that, even though they try to be. Even though, like, they think that, oh, I 3-bet all the suited aces. I 3-bet king queen sometimes. Like, how can I not be at 11%?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, but I'll tell you this. I mean, there's under the gun raise. I'll 3-bet king queen off there fairly often. If it's against a player who I don't respect, who I know is not going to 4-bet with anything but the nuts,
that's a
who is going to be so passive post flop, so check and guess, under check raising. I mean, just go after the guy.
Yep.
I mean, he's going to have medium pairs that he's going to try and set mine and have no idea what to do and overfold post flop. You're going to just blitz him in so many spots. He's only going to take anything worth talking about from you is if he makes a huge hand. And even then, he's probably not going to get that much from you. If I got king queen and I 3-bet somebody and it comes like king queen 8 And this nitty player, if he starts check raising me on the flop, I mean, I know I'm probably calling turn, but when he sends me the Shazam on the turn, I'm even overfolding top two here because they don't even see people go. Certain nits won't even do this with Ace King. They're not going to overplay Ace King there. They're just going to think, oh, he has Ace King. Oh, he has aces. Oh, if he has kings or queens, it's just a cooler. I got eights. Yeah. It's like it's a massive fold to be making, but the only hand that makes any sense for him to be playing in this manner is the one you lose to.
So with live poker, there is such a big range of players. Like there are guys like that who won't put in a dime without a set, but then there's also guys who king nine. There's king 9-8. They'll call your 3-bet with 10-8 offsuit and then check raise. Like there's guys like this exist. And you'll probably be able to recognize it because you see this nit every single day. But then this guy
is a putz.
You've never seen him before. Here he just looks like the guy who's going to call 3-bet with 10-8 off. And
if he's been losing.
But for me, like if I haven't played live poker I haven't been to the win in 3 months. I have a very difficult time. Anybody who doesn't play live poker, you have a very difficult time walking into a new player pool and just identifying. Okay, this is the type of guy who only has nines here, and this is the type of guy who could have all sorts of punts. And if you're wrong, you're just torching. And this is a big challenge in live poker that not a lot of people talk about. Is dealing with I guess the reason people don't talk about it is because most people who play live poker, they play 40 hours a week in the same player pool, so they don't even deal with this issue. But for guys who mix player or play in this city and that city and that city, and sometimes they play online, sometimes they play live, sometimes they play tournaments, this is something that I struggle with live poker a lot. When I get check raised in that type of spot, like I know when I used to play live poker every day, I know what I'm doing. I know who I'm calling, who I'm not calling. But right now in 2026, when I don't have a regular spot that I play live poker. This is the type of spot that is definitely gonna open up opportunities for me to make huge mistakes.
Yeah, right. You're just gonna live and die with it because you're not right. If you're not in there day in and day out, year round, how the hell are you supposed to go in there and just be able to get all these extra little bonus edges where you just own the fuck out of somebody? It's like you're only gonna be able to do that. You only have a shot at doing that is if you're there all the time with this particular reg or a rec player, a nitty rec reg who looks like this guy. There's so many players who add or subtract a few things. They're playing pretty much the exact same way. They're showing up with the same hands.
Yeah.
When certain lines they take, they're all showing up with this hand and only this hand. And nothing but this hand.
Majority of the live pool, right?
So many of them,
and then there's this other subset of guys that they could have whatever.
Right, yeah, and those you can usually pick them out rather easily. You can tell just by looking at them, You can tell who's kind of wide-eyed, looks like they've never been to Vegas before.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes it's, I don't know, it's easy to get them mixed up for me. Like, you can,
because you're not there all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not there all the time, you won't be able to...
Even some of the nit regs look like that. Some of the nit regs look like they've never been to Vegas before.
Yeah, well, I
and that's the thing also about whales, about like really punty whales. They usually act very confident. They act like they own the place. So it is kind of difficult if you've never been there.
Yeah, the whales and the rec players they're the ones who surprise you with these random spaz bluffs out of nowhere that are actually good because even though they may have made mistakes choosing this hand, it's like it's still effective because. And they may not even know why, but it's effective because nobody bluffs this spot. When you just see people turning over sets, top two straights, with this line over and over and over and over again, when it happens to you another time, you just assume it's happening again. And then all of a sudden, bang, he turns over like 9-7 offsuit on like King, Queen, 7, Jack.
Yeah.
And I fold like top and bottom or something. And or Kings and Jacks. Okay, here's another hand from yesterday. This was my final hand of the day. Final hand.
Okay.
Under the gun, we're 6-handed, I think. I raised to 20 with queens, and the big blind calls, and the big blind is this young Asian reg who I've never seen before. He's only been there 2-3 hours, so we know we haven't played that many hands. So to call him a nit based on the fact that he hasn't done a lot the first couple hours is not sensible. I'm thinking of this guy as a nit because he just seems like he's a nit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is what the live reads are coming.
Yeah.
It's not even the fact that you've only been here for 30 hands.
Yeah, I know.
It's how you're going about your business.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
everything.
Your intuition will speak to you in a lot of these spots.
So he calls, and the flop comes Jack 10-4, 2 diamonds. I do not have a diamond. And before the flop even came, I told myself, I'm thinking about checking back some flops against this guy. And that's probably not a bad flop to check back necessarily, but either way, he checks, I bet 25 into 40, and he check raises to 80. And he's got, probably another 1,000, 1,100. And I thought his size was a little peculiar on the small side. There was 3 combos of Jack 10 suited because the Jack and the 10 were diamonds. So we know the value hands are 4s, 3 combos the top 2. That's only 6 combos. I mean, he's not going to do this with Jack X. And I could see him flatting 10s in the big blind, so I think he could have a set of 10s as well.
Why can't he have Jack 10 off or Jack 4 suited or 10-4 suited?
You think he can have those defending big blind?
I see people who defend big blind crazy, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they do.
Jack 10 off wouldn't even be crazy by the standards.
All right, so maybe he's got 8 combos then instead of 3. That's if we're giving this guy to be as loose as.
I don't think people fold Jack 10 off in that spot.
They should, but they don't.
I would think they should, especially
I agree with you that you should be. I agree that people over defend the fuck out of their big blind, even the really really bad nitty players.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it just goes unnoticed. Like you might raise middle position, you go 3-4 ways, including the big blind, and you just take it down post flop at some points, or maybe you win a big pot with it. But the big blind just silently check folds, and you just never know what he put it in there with. Like people closing the action with 7-5 off.
Yeah.
Ace 9 off, hands that are just this is a clear fold.
Yeah.
Pre-flop. You do not defend the big blind with this ever. And you see it happening all the time. So I was giving this guy credit to not have Jack 10 offsuit. But you know something? I folded this hand right here.
Okay.
Because this check raise, it's just I'm doing so bad against his range. I'm in bad. I could have 2 outs. I could be 25%. He has either a better hand or a high equity draw, and I just don't see the point. It's like how many times do I call in these spots and just end up folding later? So you're saying you wouldn't fold to this, though?
I would call.
Because you got the overpair right. I mean, this is a typical. How many times does this happen where I say, like I said in the beginning, I fold. You're like, no, I'm calling, and you're not even like thinking about folding. Like, I hated it. It felt really weak.
No, my alarm bells are going off just in the sense that, all right, this is live poker, and this guy might not know about the Queen 9 check raise. He might not know that, like.
Or the King Queen.
It could just be, he might not know about the King 5 backdoor check. He probably doesn't know about that one.
But and if he does know about it, he's probably not doing it, even if he knows about it.
But he could have Ace Jack. He could have King Jack. He could have. People do it with diamonds.
I did not think he would do that.
You have equity. You got the backdoor straight. You got the queen. If he has Jack 10, you can hit a 4.
No, I know. I think folding there was a little too weak. And I said in the beginning that I don't think he would have check raised even Jack X. I mean, maybe he would, but I'm going to stand by that he wouldn't. But I should have called, because if he had that hand beat, maybe he makes it 100 instead of 80.
Yeah,
which
80 is a bit small.
It's not just $20. It's like it's the percentage. It's how this is going to compound itself later in the hand.
Yeah. The funny thing is the fact that he hasn't done anything in 3 hours. It might make it weaker because, like, now he might be looking to do something. And if he had pocket 4s, he might think, like, maybe not pocket 4s, he might just easily raise that. But if he had, like, Jack 4 suited, he might think, like, well, I haven't done anything. I look like a nit. I'm not going to get action. Board's maybe I'll just call.
Yeah, I don't know. I
mean,
I think calling is good here because
you can also evaluate his turn size.
I can evaluate a lot of situations on the turn. I can turn this hand into a bluff. If an ace comes, I can rep the nuts a turn or river. If a diamond comes and he checks, I don't have any diamonds, but I might just start turning this hand into a bluff that way because...
I don't think you're getting better hands to fold.
No, not on the turn. Like if it's the deuce of diamonds.
Even by the river, I don't think so. I don't think 2 pair plus is folding.
Well, I see it happen a lot though. I mean,
Yeah, all right.
this
Yeah,
is
maybe-
this
maybe
is
you're-
what goes
yeah.
on in a 2-5 pool.
true. All right.
They underbluff and they overfold. If you put them in the corner, if you put them in the corner with a hand that's a bluff catcher, and you start overbetting and you start 2x jamming, and you haven't done anything for a while, they don't want to stack. They don't want to stack off at top two. I mean, and you're saying online people will stack off with it because this is too strong in your range to be folding. You just have to let the guy.
I feel like I get more folds online. Live, I feel like I just get called. If I try anything in live poker, people, if they don't call, they definitely sit there for 10 minutes like all suspicious.
Well, this reminds me of the conversations we used to have. Yeah, it just seems like players maybe perceive you or play against you much differently than they play against me, because you're telling me how much calling you see and how much bluffing you see against you, and I'm like, I don't see people doing any of that. I mean, it's like I have my experience is like almost the opposite of yours, it seems.
Let me tell you a hand I played recently at 2-5. This is the first hand I played at this table. I opened ace queen off from the cutoff. I have no club. I have ace queen off, no club. I opened 20 from the cutoff. The small blind, black guy, Jamaican, Dominican, Haitian, black, one of those. He calls. He's got his girl sitting next to him. He's just a random recreational player. But these are the guys you're saying, they still, if you put all the pressure on, even this type of guy. And I've noticed this too. At least with other people. If you put all the pressure on a guy like this, he'll probably not go with top pair. But anyway, so it's ace queen, no club. It's jack 10-4. So I bet he calls. Turn was a club. He put 3 clubs out there. So jack 10-4, 2 clubs, and then it was like the 7 of clubs maybe. He immediately checks his cards. I bet 75 into 100. He calls. River is the king of clubs. So another club, 4 clubs. So it gives me a straight, but I don't. There's 4 clubs on the board. So it's jack 10-4, 2 clubs, 7 club, king club. He leads for 75 into 250. 75 into 250. I make it 450, and he calls with king deuce with the deuce of clubs.
No way.
So it was jack 10-4, 2 clubs. He floats king deuce with a deuce. Fine. Okay, whatever. This is horrible, but fine. 7 club. Immediately doesn't even want to hide the fact that he immediately checks his cards. All right, makes it exactly what I think he has. Still calls. Okay, 75 into 100. And then that turn call was the most, I would say, is the most egregious call he made in the hand. River, obviously, the donk bet 75. Okay, they do this. I know they do this with small flushes. He always has a small flush here. But I see people do fold the small flush here if you make it 450.
Oh, yeah, no, I think your play is really good.
Yeah, okay. So,
I've actually been looking for this specific spot more often lately, and I have found it a couple times where you get into these 4 flush spots. They are not checking the ace of that suit over to you. They are not betting small with the ace of clubs.
Yeah.
Ace of whatever suit. And you can just throw the brain fuck at them, launch the nuke, and they're just going to give you the respect for it. So I think it's a pretty bad beat that this hand got called. Yeah. I mean, if it's going to get called, it will be called by this type of player. Some random wreck with or without the girl sitting behind him. So when I hear a bluff like this went down, I'm not surprised to hear it was from this player description, but also getting to this flop, turn, and river with this crap.
So it's always this player type that's folding when we hit him on the river. Because no other player type gets here. Mm-hmm. So it really is bad. I mean, it is a bad beat in the sense that, you know, it's not like you can say, well, why'd you bluff that guy? Well, this is the only guy that gives you the opportunity to bluff in this spot. Like, no, this bluff works all the time. Or at least it works a lot. I know when I have the ace of clubs in this spot, I'm not excited to make it 450. I like, oh, how can I should I make it 375 maybe? I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
I would keep it smaller in that case because I
make it big.
I would expect right. I would go if you had enough flush there. I would have gone smaller because I'd be afraid that the big size will get him to fold too often.
I've played that game.
And this time it didn't.
I've played that game for many years where I'll bomb it with the ace of clubs in this spot. Not bomb. I mean, I didn't bomb it here. I went 450, but that's the size that I would think.
Still a big size.
I would think if I had
should have been big
clubs,
enough. Yeah.
But they seem to fold to it. And they always seem to. So that's why I have started to come down with my sizing when I have value and keep it the same when I have bluff. Yeah, so this is a spot where I don't know. I think I am perceived differently than a lot of players. My friend just told me a hand where he got somebody to fold like an actual 2-card flush with 3. He raised the river and the guy had 2 of the suits and
Wow.
and he folded.
He just had a good old-fashioned flush.
Yeah.
Not a 4-flush board out
even,
there, just the kind you want.
The kind that they usually call. The kind that I would never expect to fold.
No, never.
But I just, I don't get the folds like that.
I mean, he check called flop, check called turn, and then, I probably said it here before. When it comes to bluffing, you did everything right, you size up everything, and you know what? Sometimes they just call.
Yeah,
it's like, there's just no fucking rhyme or reason. Sometimes they just call and because they don't want to fold again, and you don't know when someone is about to reach that point where maybe you've bluffed them, or maybe they've just made 3 or 4 big folds already in the day, and now you see another good spot to go after them, and this time all of a sudden they hit their threshold and they call you, and it's not because they think they're going to win. They actually are expecting to lose, but they just emotionally cannot stomach folding another hand, and this is why they win. And if they win that way, look, that's just a bad beat. They didn't deserve to win. That's not strategy, okay? But it doesn't matter. When you're playing poker, there's just so many decisions and so many choices and so many different ways you can go that just when you're running good, no matter what you thought about or didn't, you come out looking like a genius no matter what.
Yeah. When you're running good, a lot of this stuff doesn't even... This happens and it doesn't even faze you. You kind of just think, oh, okay, I ran battled 1 bluff. I got heroed 1 time.
Right.
It's easier to remember those than it is to remember. I've gotten a bunch of bluffs through recently, but you remember the ones that you got heroed on.
Oh, yeah. They keep me up all night. All right. Well, Sank, it was great talking to you today. Good seeing you. Thanks for coming in to the studio.
Yeah, that was fun.
And
it was a good conversation.
Oh, yeah. Look, talking poker is always more fun than playing it.
I don't know about that, but...
Well, I definitely never gotten bored of talking about it, but I do get bored of playing sometimes. But I guess you can't lose when you're discussing the game.
Yeah,
there's no rake back, but at least, it feels safe. Like when I'm talking poker with somebody who's experienced, I feel like the joy coming back. Because then I feel like because then I remember all these things I've done in the past, and now it makes me feel all wise and noble. But when you're out in the field, when you're out playing, I mean, it's a war.
Yeah,
there's no tie.
That's more what I like.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to be in the war, but it's not like relaxing. I mean, you're engaged. We're not like relaxed exactly.
No.
We're relaxed in the sense we might feel comfortable in the game, so you're relaxed in that sense. But you're not like lying in the hammock.
Yeah. But I don't exactly relax during conversations either. So for me, it's not even. It's the same thing.
Yeah. All right. Well. It was great talking again, and we'll love to have you back sometime.
Yeah,
we, meaning I, since I'm the only one who does the show. But, all right. Well, thanks again for listening to everybody. This was Sank Desai. How many years have you been playing poker full-time?
Full-time? Getting close to 13 now.
13 years. All right. Well, there you go. So, yeah, that's a veteran pro player, not a fish, so beware of... Always beware of young Indian players because they could be pros. I don't think I've seen a competent Indian player over the age of 40, though. I mean, I've never really thought about it until now, but every competent Indian player I have seen is a pretty young person.
Yeah.
Looks like he's been around poker for a while. But everybody else, I don't know what the deal with your people is, but... Poker ain't it. All
we're
right?
bad, yeah.
Poker ain't for y'all.
By and large, we're pretty bad. Yeah.
Just you can see it on their face as soon as they sit down.
They love it though.
I was about to say they're having the most fun.
Yeah.
They have the most fun, and it's just
they're probably the best losers. Like they take it the best.
They do.
Older Indian guys.
It makes sense. Yeah. Well, all right. This is episode 15 of season 2 of Dead Money, everybody. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.